still find it crazy, to be honest, because I still see myself as a plumber. I'm just a plumber that films stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I've got to ask people, why am I chasing a viral video?
Yeah.
Oh, because I want it to explode. Like, but you're not going to get much back off that.
No.
Don't just go for the person with the biggest numbers or the biggest views. There's no point. Don't go on numbers. Go on authenticity and the content that they're doing. Be yourself and have some integrity. Don't be tempted by the free products.
Welcome back to The Build Up. I'm Dan, the creative director at Dissident. Today we're talking with Luke, aka Blue Bulldog. He is a plumbing content creator. We're going to be talking about how he leverages his massive social media following, not only to get business, but to also to garner deals with some of the brands that he uses and respects. Luke also talks about how he's attracted to brands that market in a particular way, whether that be their branding, the way that they communicate, or the fact that they build a community around their product. These influence his buying habits and the habits of his peers. So hopefully this will be information not just for content creators, people who work in construction, but also brands on how they can market themselves in this industry. Anyway, really cool episode. Hope you enjoy it. Luke, thank you so much for being on The Build Up.
Our pleasure to be here, mate.
Not your first time at Dissident Studios.
No.
You've been here, like, was it once or twice before?
Twice now. This is my third time.
Love it. Love it.
Always love coming here.
It's a pleasure to have you back here. For the audience, mate, can you just give us a brief overview of the Bulldog, the Blue Bulldog? What do you do? Tell us a bit about your business.
So yeah, I'm a plumber. Well, gas engineer. I don't know. I'm just a plumber basically. So yeah, just general plumbing, heating, stuff like that. Been doing it since I was left school. Set up my own business 5 years ago. So yeah, I work around Walsall, just doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Just yourself, is it?
It's just me, yeah.
Yeah. One man band doing everything.
One man band doing the lot.
Yeah.
Trying to keep on top of it.
Yeah. It's a strange question to start with. Do you ever get days where you don't have work on? Are you just flat out constantly? It
is flat out. When you run your own business, you've got to have boundaries. One boundary I have is I don't work weekends, but if I did, I would literally be at work 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's non-stop. Even on the days where I haven't got work, I'm still working in the background.
Yeah.
I'm still doing the admin, getting back to customers, sorting out materials. It is the lifestyle being self-employed is 24/7, 7 days a week.
Are you a Monday to Friday guy as well? Do the weekends as well?
Monday to Friday I am. On the occasional weekends when I need to, only if I really have to. Other than that, it's Monday to Friday.
Because you got kids and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I've got kids, so the weekends and like their time.
Yeah.
Like Monday to Friday, I've got to run the business, but they know when the weekend comes, it's time with dad.
Yeah,
that's how I like to keep it with them. The only little ones. So.
And then are you like school run hours? Like, are you going like after, or are you like early mornings, things like that?
So I'm school run. I am. I do, which I'm very grateful for. I've got the opportunity that I get to take my lad to school. So yeah, I'll start after the school run. In the winter, it can be like 6, 7, 8 o'clock finishes. Summer, I do try and scale it back a bit. I do like to try and pick the lad up from school, enjoy the good weather. But that's, on the flip side, that's a good thing about being self-employed. You can pick your hours, you can do what you want.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Love that. And especially the plumbing and heating industry, a lot of people will be familiar with you because you got a really, really good presence on socials. Like when did that kick off? Like, can you walk me through kind of like the timeline of social media for Blue Bulldog? Like, how did that start? When did you start to see like traction and things like that? Was it like a conscious choice to really push socials? And did you think you'd be where you're at now?
So it started for me like I wanted to promote my business, get it out there, show people what I'm doing. I've seen people do it and they do these really nice time lapses. You've seen the start of the project to the end of the project. And I thought, that's so cool. How are they doing it? And I went on TikTok and they had their own editing app. I thought, that's how they're doing it. Then my very early stuff is terrible. It really is. Like, basically, it's just like the old boiler, the old click your fingers, it's a new boiler. I was doing stuff like that.
It was off the time though, right?
Yeah.
It's what you think, you look back at like stuff that you've created in the past, like as a creative agency, we do this and it's like, I can't believe we got away with that. But that was just off the time, right?
Yeah, it was just like, I've seen people do it. I thought, that looks cool. Let me try that. So I've done a few videos like that. And I thought, let's actually show people what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and talk them through it. I think one of my first ones that I posted that did well was changing the cylinder up in the loft. So it's just basically me taking some videos, putting the cylinder in the loft, connected it up and talking people through it. And that was the first one that I thought, it got over 1,000 views. And I was like, wow, this has done all right, this has. So I thought, well, okay, people are liking that style of content. It's showing the work that I'm doing. Let's try a few more. I think it really took off when I changed a set of taps and it was on the opposite side of the bath and I had to go through a wall.
Okay.
So it was something a lot different. It was just replace a set of taps. It was like, I'm going through this wall and doing it from the back.
Yeah.
And that one, I think, got like 2.5 million views. It went crazy.
Why do you think that was?
I think it was just something that was completely different. It was, I mean, if I was doing the edit now, it would be completely different. There's voiceover would be different. Everything would be different about it. But it just kind of fell into the algorithm. It was something different. It was something out there. I mean, if you look through the comments on that, there's quite a few negative comments.
Okay, you get that. You get that, especially in the construction industry. You get that a lot, don't you?
It's
a lot of bitchiness.
Really
a lot of
is,
really trying to put you down on how you do something. Because of course, the thing with the construction industry is a lot of it's subjective. There's plenty of ways to skin a cat. And I've always attributed construction to being very similar to the creative industry. It's just a different set of tools. When you create a video, when you take an image, when you build like a presentation, whatever, there's a lot of different ways of doing it and everyone will have their own kind of workflow. And, you know, a lot of construction is kind of looking at a thing going, okay, I've got like 3 or 4 different ways of doing this, which is the best way for me to do it. Are there certain types of content that you put out on social platforms that that you've noticed that do particularly well in terms of like reach and engagement and stuff? Do you notice a pattern of that?
Yeah, you'll find like the stuff for me that I do that I think is basic, but to other people it's like, don't know what's going on here. Don't know what you're talking about. You'll find the more basic jobs, the DIY jobs, like changing a tap, sorting out a waste pipe or something like that. People will watch it and think, I'm going to learn something here. I could do this. You do find a lot more people will watch that because them trying to do it themselves. You know, when you're trying to do something, what do? How to do this. So if your video is titled "How to Replace a Tap," it's hopefully going to be at the top of it, and they will do better. The more basic, back to basic videos, I would say, do better than more of the complex ones. Like I did one on wiring. I'm like, yeah, you just put that wire there, you test this, test that. And a lot of people are like, I lost you after 20 seconds, mate. But fair play, you did a good job. You know what I mean? So if you're doing content like that, you just got to be aware of your audience. You got to really think about who are you targeting? Who are you trying to help, or what am you trying to promote here? But I do find the basic ones do better.
Talk to me about your audience then, because what we find a lot with accounts like yourselves is a massive portion of like your audience will be others in your industry. Could you give me a rough estimate ratio of like ratio between other people in your industry, like plumbers, heating engineers, and general public, like potential customers and stuff? What do you reckon that is?
It's hard to gauge. I mean, like when you do the demographic, like you look at the analytics, I think a lot of my audience is between 30 and 15 male. That's like my target audience. That's who will watch it. I'm guessing a lot of them other trades. But I do get a portion of younger people watching it. So I'm guessing them are the apprentices and that. I'd say it's like 70% like other trades and 30% like the general public. Maybe people wanting to do their own stuff, trying to learn a bit of plumbing or looking to get into it. They want to see what what it's like to be a plumber. I'd say that's generally the split that I'd get between it.
The interesting thing about this is like when a lot of trades, social accounts, they're typically a lot of the content that they're producing is essentially for other tradespeople. A lot of the time it's kind of almost marketed towards them, which if you think about it, isn't great for business because you're thinking, well, I'm not selling to these guys. But and is there a better strategy to market towards my actual customer? But my take on that is most of the stuff that you do, especially if it's relatable, if it's showing quality work and things like that, if a customer comes onto your profile and they can see obviously the knowledge and the experience behind what you're putting out, they're going to associate that with good quality work. But also, if your social media is being boosted essentially by other people in your industry who are connecting with you, growing your follower count, growing your engagement and stuff, it's going to have a knock-on effect to those actual customers. It's going to be able to be shown to them more easily, right? I reckon if you got about 20K on Instagram, right? Something like that?
25 now.
25.
Yeah.
So really, really good numbers.
Yeah.
Inevitably, that means that whenever you put out a post, it's going to be put out to more people. Inevitably, it's going to get more engagement. And therefore, the potential reach to your actual customers, potential customers, is escalated.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you had a really niche small audience and you only targeted content that appealed to the general customer.
Yeah.
It's going to be less likely to be pushed out to them.
Yeah.
So I think actually, like, you know, I always had this thought of like, why do these trade social accounts keep making essentially content for other people in that trade? But I think it still is a huge benefit to actually growing your business.
Yeah, I suppose it's like a big circle. Like when you do content, like when I do content, I try and think about what am I trying to do with this content? Who's it going to help? That's the big thing. Like, who am I trying to help? Like, I like to do videos that are informative and help people. I never look at views, to be honest with you, because sometimes when I do a video, I know it's only going to be a very small select people that I'm going to look into it. Then other times I'll look at a video and think, if I can show how I do this job, potential customers are going to see, he can do that job.
Yes.
Look at the job he's done. But also, I don't try and edit it so it looks perfect.
Yes.
That's the worst thing. I'll try and show the job as it is. Now, sometimes that can go a little bit against me because you get people in the comments saying, oh, look at that, you did this. I'm like, that's the real world, mate. This is what happens out there. And then you're not giving a potential customer, or, you know what I mean? They're not
false
getting
hopes almost.
False hopes, yeah. Because when you go into a house and you're doing plumbing work especially, things can go wrong. It happens. It really does. And if you've just advertised this perfect job, so, well, my job, they turn out like that.
Yeah.
Like, this happened. Like, it's one of them with content. You've got to, I suppose you got to think to yourself, what am I doing the content for? Am I doing it to boost my business? Am I doing it to chase a viral video? Am I doing it to get followers? Like, you've got to really think about what your content's going to be out there for.
Yes.
But like you said, like the content, it's like a big circle. You can do a video and it can target other trades, like plumbers in my area. They'll start following me because I'm helping with hints and tips. But then brands are going to recognise it and go, oh, he's using that stuff. But then customers are going to say, I need that doing. He's just done that and it worked. So is he in my area? Then they're going to see if I'm in the area. It's just one big circle. But we can't, you got to decide, like, what am I doing it for?
Yes.
That's the big thing. What am I doing content?
Well, the interesting thing is it's nuanced. I imagine your sort of presence on social media, because you do work with brands, of course. So there's that sort of, you're almost marketing towards almost like three different areas. You've got your actual customers, you've got your community of other plumbers and heating engineers, and it's cool to make content that's, you know, kind of in that area. Yeah. But then you've also got this, you know, I imagine you have paid work with brands. Yeah. And creating potential opportunities with future brands that you love and use and stuff like that. So you've almost got three different things you're thinking about on your social media platforms. And I guess what you got to do is find the happy medium between all of those.
You got to try and keep them all happy. You know what I mean? I think the one thing I try and do is not lose sight of why I started doing it, where the enjoyment come from. Like, when I had less followers, I was doing it to try and help people, stuff like that, and showcase my work to potentially boost my business. Now that I'm further down the line, I have to really think about my content. Like, right, I've got this brand that I'm working with. They need a video. How can I incorporate that in a video where it's authentic? It helps the brand, but I'm not overselling, if you know what I mean. Yes. I don't want to be out there doing content saying, buy this. Yeah. It's not authentic. So you really have to think about what you're doing. I suppose when you get a bit further, you haven't got these brand deals, content becomes a little bit more stressful.
Yeah.
It can get a little bit stressful because you're trying to keep everybody happy. You're trying to keep the brands happy and your target audience.
Yeah.
You've got to keep your target because they're the ones that get you to where you are.
It's a very delicate balance,
it
isn't
is,
it? Because if you do anything that's kind of off-brand for you that feels a little bit disingenuous, essentially what you do is you lose your influence. And that makes you, first of all, like not relevant to this audience that you've built up, but also from the brand side, not useful anymore. If you lose your influence, you have no value to a brand, right? So you've got to you really curate everything. I imagine it's quite a delicate balance of
it is,
doing that.
It's about keeping your integrity. That's what you've got to keep. You really have got to keep your integrity. So when I do work with people, it's got to be the right fit. It's got to work for me, work for my audience, and work for that brand.
Yeah.
There's no point in me working for a brand if I don't believe in that brand or I don't use that brand. There's no point whatsoever.
This was the topic of conversation that led me to think let's go on a podcast and talk about this. We won't name names or anything like that. And if this isn't a comfortable topic for you, we can scrap it out of the podcast entirely. But we represent loads of different brands, and we got this. One of our brands had got this new product that had come out, which I'm really excited about, and I'm trying to figure out if it's where it fits within the market. So I'm like, Luke, there's this new product. Like, have you thought about using this? Like, have you done any work with these guys in the past? Have you seen any of this stuff? And I remember you were like, I know the brand. They seem really good. I can't get them at my local merchant, and therefore I don't use them.
Yeah,
it's weird for me to go and use that product and potentially put it out on socials or something like that, because it just feels off-brand.
Yeah,
because it's not a tried and tested product for me.
Yeah.
And it's, I imagine you could probably do some bits and that you could do some genuine, like, oh, I'll put it in a bathroom. I'm not going to put it on social media. I'll give you my honest feedback on it or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually putting something out on social media that's a brand new thing that's never come up in the past and stuff would feel wrong to your audience. So you've actually got to really be, even if you are like, I really want to do this, you actually can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because if this might be a brand that you genuinely think this would be a great fit for me, but because I can't physically get them in my local merchants and therefore it's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right for me to like a one-time piece of content on it.
That was the thing. Like, what went to my head was, that ain't going to be good for the brand.
No.
There's no point. The easiest thing for me to do would be like, yeah, great, that's great. That's another payday. I'll take that. We'll do the field shoot, out it goes. Never think about it again. But I'm going to get my target audience think, I see you use something else here.
Yeah.
So why are you promoting that? Why are you using that? We know you've been paid and it ain't going to have the same effect that brand wants. That brand wants to do a video to promote the product and it would have the total opposite effect. It'd be like, he don't even use them. So why is he promoting them?
Yeah.
It would have that effect. So when I choose who I work with, it's got to you the right fit. Like you said, you got to have integrity sometimes. And it was absolutely nothing against that brand. It really wasn't, because I do use some of their stuff. But like I said, other stuff out there is a lot more readily available. I use them. People know I use them. Not only would it be a bad fit for me, it'd be a bad fit for them. So sometimes you have just got to say no, even if it's a good payday.
Even if it feels right.
Yeah. You've got to think about, like, how are people going to perceive this?
And I think it's a really clever move, because there might be a situation where you go, this is a long game thing. Give me some of their products. I'll have a play, see if it works into my workflow, see if I can get them into the local merchants and stuff. And that might be like something that we can maybe start looking at if it's the right fit. But just going, yep, thank you very much, I'll take this. Because you're not a review channel, right? If it'd be a completely different probably conversation if you're like, I do paid reviews and I'm completely honest with my feedback. Yeah, that'd be a different story entirely, right? But that's not your brand.
It's not now. People aren't used to me just saying, right, we've got this, I'm going to review it. People are like, when did you start doing that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If I'd done it from the start, great, because I would be that review channel that, he gives honest feedback to products. But on the flip side, if you're giving honest review and something's rubbish, brands don't want to hear that.
No.
They really don't. So you're going to put a lot of brands off saying stuff's rubbish. I've done it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I've said stuff about a product or a brand, I've said, that's rubbish,
Mm-hmm.
avoid it. But that's just me being honest. Now, if it's affected, if I get work of them, it's just what it is. You've got to have that, like I said, integrity and what's the word I'm looking for? You need that connection with your audience. Like what he says, work. You know what I mean? He's actually speaking the truth instead of just being a puppet that says buy this, buy that, buy this.
Yeah, and that's a big thing when it comes to being from being on the dissident side of things. So we work brand side to market products, to market brands and stuff like that. Content creators that are shilling out left, right, and center with, and you can tell there's no real long-term investment in. Let me actually try this product first. Let me see if it works.
Yeah.
I've been testing this product for the last 6 months.
Yeah,
and I can genuinely say right now it's a really good product for this.
Yeah.
For this reason. That's not to say that I totally agree with every single product that the brand has. This particular thing works incredibly well.
Yeah.
Like that works really well. But if it's just, you can just see the accounts are just like ad after ad after ad, and you're just like, I've never seen you use that before. But if you're that type of content creator and it works for you, like you say, like a review channel or I'm the kind of content creator that gets sent stuff to play with, and I can let you know my honest feedback. That works. But because you're essentially, a lot of your work on social media is being a jobbing plumbing and heating engineer.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for you to be like commercial.
Yeah, it doesn't now. It really doesn't. Like I said, that's the balance with your content. Or the certain brands I work with, I only work with them because I believe in them and I use them. That's the thing. But when they want me to promote the stuff, I go, right, how can I promote it without overselling it?
Yeah.
And the easiest way for me to do that is just work and film, because it will naturally become
it's already
content.
there.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of times I've done videos and that brand's just been in there and it wasn't even paid for is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just what happens out there. It's what I'm doing. It's what I'm using. If I've got a brand that needs a video, it'll just be as and when I do. Like I've got one coming up. I've been working with a brand and they say we need a reel on this. But it's just the easiest thing in the world because I'm generally just using their products. Okay, I'll film that this month, no problem.
Yeah.
It's got to a point now where he sends me one message a month. He says, do this, same as usual.
Yeah.
And that's it, because he knows when I'm doing it, it's coming out authentically and that. But yeah, like I said, with some stuff, brands approach you and say, oh, we want to give you this. Can you use it on a video? And I'm like, I'm never going to use that in my life.
No.
But we'll pay you this much. Like, and I think some people can get their heads turned a little bit. Like the weirdest offer I've ever had was through YouTube. They turned around and said, we're a teeth clinic in Turkey, right? Says we'll pay for everything, the flights, the teeth work, whatever you want, if you do a YouTube on it. I was
my God.
Like, number one, like, do you think my teeth are that bad?
Yeah.
Number two, like, there's no way I'm going to sell my YouTube channel down the road for some new teeth. You know what I mean?
If I was a content creator, I've said this before, if I was a content creator, I would be the one that everybody talks about in WhatsApp groups, because I would shill out to everybody. I'd be like, yes, please, give me those teeth. I'm going to go straight to
come back with some turkey teeth. Yeah. Oh, after Blue Bulldog. Jeez.
Yeah. I would do it. Every energy drink, every possible thing, I would be all over it. I'd be the worst influencer ever. When it comes to social media and posts, we brushed on it briefly about like posts that do well and stuff like that. Does that actually? So let's say a post does incredibly well, more better than the average for you. Do you see the needle move on your business as a whole when that happens? Because I imagine a lot of the time it's by accident anyway. The viral posts are the ones that you put the least effort into.
They really am, yeah.
Do you actually see like a benefit to the business when stuff like that happens? Do you see like a little spike of business or whatever?
So at the moment, I've just gone into air conditioning. Okay. And I've done my first reel the other week because it's coming up to summer. We want to start fitting it. On the back of that, I got 2 or 3 inquiries.
Great.
Which is good. That's what I wanted. The bath tap one, look, I see it surging. Oh, come and do more bath taps. I mean, I still get messages on YouTube now saying, where do you work? Because I've got this situation, so put it on YouTube. So the content that you do, people are looking for people to solve a problem. But it's hard to gauge. I suppose I could help myself out by asking the customer, where did you get my information from? And actually tracking it, I could probably see more of where the customer's coming from. But if I take that video, for example, the air conditioning one, then it's providing workflow now.
Amazing.
I'm starting to get inquiries come through.
That's really insightful, because two or three leads off a social media post, I would kill for that.
Exactly.
As an agency, I would kill if we did a decent post to get 2 or 3 leads to to some reasonable work, some decent brands or whatever. That's insane for us, because obviously that can generate crazy money. I want to lean into like what virality means for businesses, specifically when it comes to like, jobbing tradespeople, one-man bands, whatever. If they put a piece of content out, if they're searching for virality, is that actually a good fit? Does it actually generate the business that they need, or should they be creating content built on trust, generating trust and things like that? So obviously viral posts a little bit more difficult to get. You did get leads off it, but if you put that alongside that post that got X amount of leads that went viral, you probably didn't try to make it viral. I don't know whether you did or not. There's probably a formula that you're like, if it's going to go viral, it's this, but we'll see. Or if it's going to be, I say viral, successful, it's going to do this. But if you match that up against, posts that are, aren't going to be viral, but that potentially build trust, is that a better strategy for social media?
Your social media strategy should be what's your end goal here. Yeah. If it's to build your business, it's about showing customers what you can do and how you do it. Don't care about the views. You don't matter about the views, because when you want something, what do? You search on Google. The more posts you've got, the more jobs that you show people, they're going to go through your back catalogue. They're going to say, well, he's doing this, he's doing that. They've got videos to watch your work. That's going to lead to more customers. If you're chasing viral videos, why? Yeah. That's why I've got to ask people, why am I chasing a viral video? Yeah. Oh, because I want it to explode. But you're not going to get much back off that.
No.
You're not, because it ain't going to the niche that you want it to. It's not going to the homeowners that need plumbing work. It's going out to everybody in the country.
Yes.
And you might only work in one area. So if you work down south and you got a lot of views up north, there's no point behind the viral video. I mean, it's nice. It is nice because you get the likes, you get the comments, you know what I mean? It's a good feeling when you get a viral video. I mean, but I think people on social got to think, where do I see my business? What do I want to do with it? If you want to grow your business, put out the content that's showing your business. Don't try and chase the viral. Don't copy people as well. That's a big one that I see. People trying to be other people. Be yourself. You've got to be yourself, because if you're trying to be other people, they're just going to go and watch the person that originally did it. You know what I mean? So you've got to have your own identity as well.
What I find mad as well, like it's I like this about social media. There's some accounts that are out there that have got big numbers, and there is no one facing the camera. It's all the work. It's all the work that they do. Carousel posts, short reels, essentially advertising the work that they do. And they've got 20 odd thousand followers on Instagram. I'm like, fair play. Yeah. Because you would assume that it's the personal stuff. It's the person behind the brand. It's the gags. It's the watch this. It's the creative pieces of content that generate an audience. Yeah. But a lot of the time, like it is literally just like, here's the before and after. Yeah. Like they still do incredibly well, don't they?
I mean, you're still showing like the journey though, aren't you, on the carousel? Like if them doing an extension or something, they'll just be like a load of mud. And all of a sudden it's like this beautiful extension. Like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I love that you don't need to be a personality. You don't have to be.
You don't have to be, no. You don't have to get your face in front of the camera. I mean, it helps. Yeah. You could put a face to the business. It massively helps, but you don't have to be out there talking to the camera. You've just got to like film your work, and more importantly, just film what you want to film. If you want to do more boilers, show yourself fitting boilers. If you want to do more jobbing jobs, show yourself going around fixing stuff. You know what I mean? You've got to target what you want. You really have. I mean, for me now, that line's gone. Like I'm at a point now where socials is kind of my job as well. Yeah, it really is. But if you're a smaller business that wants to grow your business, start filming what you want, because it's going to generate business. People are going to find it and go, he does that. Or subconsciously, you might show something and they've seen it. Okay, great. Then a few months later, they get a problem, like the tap starts leaking and they see you replace. I remember him, he replaced the tap. He's more local to me. So it's all about being relative and just keeping up with it as well.
You mentioned there that like socials has become kind of part of your job.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? What's the good and the bad bits about that, do you think?
I still find it crazy, to be honest, because I still see myself as a plumber. I'm just a plumber that films stuff. But I suppose it clicked about 6 to 12 months ago. Like, actually, I'm getting somewhere with this now. And it's kind of weird, to be honest with you. It's like I've got brands that want to work with me and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, I just want to keep my integrity and just keep doing what I'm doing. That's the reason that I've got people that come back to my videos, watch my videos, because of the content that I do. I need to keep it on a level, because I could very easily, if I wanted to, like I said, just go away with it, take all the money I can, work with everybody, and it would die off. And I don't really want that. I really don't. I want to just keep doing what I've always done, if you know what I mean. But you've got to have a limit of what you do as well.
Do you feel like there's an added pressure now that you have not only like an audience but an income from social media? Do you feel like you've got 2 jobs now?
It is 2 jobs. 100% it's 2 jobs. The editing and everything like that, because I do all 4 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
YouTube's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, YouTube's a good one, yeah.
A lot of effort on YouTube.
It is a lot of effort, yeah. I've done a lot of investment in that, because it used to just be my iPhone and an app on there to edit it. But now I've got a proper camera, I've got a proper laptop, and I'm really taking it. And it does show, because I've had a lot of comments saying, this is great, this is so much better. But yeah, it's turning into like an investment now. Like, I'm investing in the social side. I'm trying to set that a little bit more. Like, I've got to treat it like a job now. The hardest thing to do is to actually have that day where I work on the socials, because I've got customers screaming, oh, we need a date, this has gone wrong. And I'm like, can't do that today because I'm editing the video.
Yeah, I'm on my laptop with a cup of coffee. Yeah, like, nice place to be though.
It is, yeah. It's like, oh, look at him up and he's all yours. I'm like, it pays the bills though, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird place to be.
You can't knock it, man. Like, the influencers, content creators, however you want to use the term, are for most brands, or it should be a crucial part of their marketing.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's going to be brands that scale this up, scale this down, whatever, but social proof is a massive part of marketing, because a lot of the time, especially in construction, unless it's a power tool, you're marketing a commodity. In the general public's eye, if it doesn't have a brand, if it doesn't have a presence, and if it doesn't really have any social proof, you just can potentially just look for the cheapest one. You go, that'll do. That's absolutely fine. So if you're a commodity type brand, even if you don't associate with it, you think, well, ours is the best. It's the best performing. It's the best. Blah blah blah. You have to ask yourself as a brand, does anyone actually give a shit about any of that stuff? Because if it's just the thing in between 2 other things, and the actual sexy bit is the tap, then is the general tradesperson just going to go for whatever works? And most stuff will work. Yeah, because you can't. It's bad products are bad products, right? No, they'll just you very quickly find out what's a bad product and you'll never use it. Yeah. So brand marketing, creative, especially for these kind of commodity products, like that can influence somebody from this is just a screw to I know that these are the best. Yeah. Everybody else has said these are amazing. And even if they're not the best, they're the cool choice. Yeah. And that's fine. It's you make a lot of the time buying is a cultural choice. It's an emotional choice. When you purchase a product, you go, I'm part of this crew now. Yeah. Because I use this. And that's what marketing can do. But social proof in terms of like influencers and stuff, a lot of the time, like you can't just have that. I don't think a brand exists if you just have influencers. I don't think that creates a brand. I think it just creates noise. Yeah. It might work, but it's not a long-term strategy. But if you have that kind of thing in the background of like, these types of people are using this product and I associate with those types of people. Yeah. I'm not this kind of plumber, I'm that kind of plumber or heating engineer. Yeah. I agree with pretty much everything that Blue Bulldog says, and I actually aspire to be like him. Therefore, if he uses that product, I'm going to use it. Yeah. It's huge. It's such a massive thing. So yeah, it's the industry needs them.
Influencers and brands can work if done right. You know what I mean? I see certain brands and they hop from person to person to person. And you see someone promoting their stuff and you think, hang on, you was using so-and-so the other week and now all of a sudden you're using them.
Yeah.
It's like, you've got to really pick your influencers. It's got to be like an organic fit. They've got to use your product. Like you said, like, someone, I mean, I'll do a video and without realising it, I'll get like 3 or 4 comments saying, what grips on them? What grips on them?
Yeah.
Because I've showed them in there. Because I do a bit of work for Nipex.
Okay.
So,
well, you're a Nipex, not a Knipex guy. Then that's an intro. I always try and use the.
So when I'm doing a video for them, I'm Knipex.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Because there's that thing with I don't know if you. I've got no affiliation with DeWalt, but I always say DeWalt because I think it just pisses people off. I just like to really emphasize the D. I like DeWalt. But sorry, yeah. So yeah, Knipex.
Yeah. That gets views. That does. If you say Knipex, everyone's like, it's not Knipex, it's Nipex. I was like, no, mate, I've spoke to Knipex, it's Knipex.
Yeah.
So that everyone just says
it's
Knipex.
like Weira is actually Vera.
Yeah.
No one ever calls it Vera, but you know you have to. If they're in the room with you, it's Vera.
Yeah, news. Yeah, but they send me the tools out, and if I like them, I'll use them. I mean, I had a meeting with them, and they was on about putting tools in a Plumber's Merchants. I was a bit brutal, to be honest with you, with some of them. I was like, that's crap. I'll put that in Plumber's Merchants.
I think they need that.
Yeah, at the end of the call, I did actually look. I'm really sorry if I've like said something about the products that you don't like. I said, but that's my honest experience. No, perfect. That's what we need. We need you to give honest feedback. Because a few things I said, should we put this in? I was like, no. The plumber's never going to buy that. It's too expensive. It ain't going to work. I can get a cheap product. And there's other tools. I'm like, get them in there because they're good. They work. But it's surprising that you can just have something in a video and all of a sudden you got 3 or 4 people like saying, want them. Them look good. Like it works for you. Like it can work for me. And again, that's why I'm a bit, what I involve in videos, I have to believe in. Because I do realise that whether I like it or not, I can influence people. And if I'm influencing them the wrong way, then we're like, I only bought that because he told me to, and it's crap. Yeah.
I think, and also I think content creators should make a very clear distinction of, sometimes this gets missed, where if they get into some sort of relationship with a brand, all of a sudden everything that brand makes is the best.
Yeah.
And I think that's the wrong way of doing things. And I've had full-on arguments with brands and content creators about this. Heated debates, not like, we're not having a go at each other. But as a marketer and as someone that sits in the middle of these kinds of things, if I see somebody say, I work with this brand because they are literally the best at everything, and I'm like, well, I don't believe that at all. I don't. All of the brands that we work with have good products. They have bad products. They have products in the middle. What you have as a tradesperson is a preference.
Yeah.
You're not stating facts. You're stating preference.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really, really important thing. This particular thing that I'm talking about now works for me, and it works in this situation. You might see differently, but this is what I like to use in these scenarios. I feel that's got so much more weight than I use these because they're the best.
Yeah.
I think that's got way more weight. And I think a lot of people kind of like a lot of content creators kind of miss that nuance of just outright fanboying over a brand doesn't make that much of a difference to your audience in terms of their influence. It's more about like if you're really honest and be like, you know, that might change.
Yeah.
A new product might come out that I think is better, and I'm gonna look at that.
Yeah. Look, my work bags at the moment, I use Velocity, and I've got a connection with Velocity. I had the 11 Rogue big bag,
and it was working. A Velocity bag.
Yeah, it was working for a bit. Now I've had to take it off my van because it's not working anymore. It's just not working with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nothing against the bag, it just ain't working. So people say, where's that bag gone? It's come off because I'm not using it.
Yeah.
And now another bag's gone in its place, which is working. I'm testing one out at the moment, and I'm actually going to tell them, like, I'll change this on this bag.
Yeah.
I'll move this because there's certain things on it that I'm like, it would work so much better if it had this in it. But brands don't want you to think that everything's great. Well, brands that will actually want to, you know, get some honest feedback. They don't want to hear that everything's perfect. They want to know what flaws, what would you change, but how can we make it better? Like you said, if everything was great, you'd never change anything.
Exactly.
They'd just carry on making the same stuff. Oh, it's great, just carry on doing that. No, things can get better, things can change, but they'll only change if people are honest.
Well, that's what innovation's about, right? You don't just create the perfect bag and then that's the bag forever. There's always going to be something better.
There's going to be something that's going to make it better. And if everyone just says everything's great, then nothing ever changes, does it?
That's right. When it comes to you being a consumer of brands, this is something. So we've kind of gone through almost like the first half of this episode is kind of been around advertising yourself as a business, and also we talked a little bit about how you utilize content creation to work with brands and things like that as well, which is really cool. But you're still a consumer, right? Yeah. It's not you still have buying power over products. Not every single product that you have is like a sponsor.
No, I still have to buy stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. We talked about this, and you mentioned this like pre-interview about the types of brands that you gravitate to, and the fact that these brands usually have a very specific pull to you because of their marketing and because of the way that they interact with their audience and stuff. Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of what that looks like for you? Like what does a brand have that makes you go, oh, look at that? Yeah.
So before people think I'm just name dropping people because I'm getting paid, I'm not getting paid to name people's brands. But you look at a brand like Unilite, for example, their marketing is spot on.
Yeah.
If you ever spoke to Unilite, they'll say, yeah, we test our products, like they go through vigorous stuff. Their stuff, if you look at it, it's a torch. Okay? Unilite sell light. It's a torch. But it's the way that they advertise it and the stuff that they make. Like one of my favourite ones is the neck light.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen someone use it. I was like, so they've used it. It looks amazing. Now I've got it. And now I'm wearing it and people are asking me about it. But just the way they do their marketing, you know what I mean? Like, I've got a Unilite. Like, it's just like, it's a cool product. It really is.
It's aspirational, right? Like if something looks like, if something looks and feels like the kind of thing that you want to be a part of, that's gonna lead you to buy it, because there might be better lights, you know. And I think a lot of brand manufacturers make the mistake of thinking that consumers only care about how much better it is than the next best thing. I actually, you know, as a consumer, I quite like the underdog. I like the thing that's not perfect, but it's marketed as almost like you can be part of this group if you buy this product. You're one of us if you kind of consume this product. And again, it goes back to the emotional thing of like that makes a difference, right?
It does,
you can go, I know this isn't perfect. I know that if I spend a bit more or a bit less, I can actually get a better product. But this is the product for me because they just got a little bit of je ne sais quoi that kind of that just kind of brings me in. You know, Doc Martens is a really good example. I use this example all the time. Doc Marten, the boots, right? I've got like I don't actually wear them. I've got loads of pairs of Doc Martens and I have in the past. And I go into the Doc Marten shop and I just feel like I belong there because like you see the kind of Doc Marten brogue, they're kind of bulky and chunky, and I associate Doc Martens with the creative industry, with like people that just wear cool clothes and that are like it's all borderline hipster, but it's kind of pre-hipster. And when you see someone wearing like a nice pair of like cherry red Doc Marten brogues with some nice like turned up jeans and a cool Carhartt shirt, I just sort of feel like that's the group that I belong to. I just associate with that group. But so they market to that sort of subculture. That's the stuff that they show, and you go, I'm a part of that, so I ought to wear Doc Martens because I feel like that's our uniform, or whatever that subculture is, that's our uniform. But they never talk about how good they are.
No,
they never talk about how good the boots are. They might be crap. I mean, a lot of people say that like Doc Martens are the most comfortable things ever. They're not. They're awful. They're awful to wear. I've never had a comfortable pair of Doc Martens, but I put up with it because I want to be part of that group. And I think a lot of brands miss that opportunity to stop talking about how well the product works and just start talking about who are the types of people that use it.
Target a group of people that you want to target. Like build an identity, build a community. That's the type of thing that you kind of miss out on marketing. I mean, there's a few companies that have done it well. I mean, if you look at Fischer.
Come on.
Right.
Fischer Fixing. Not name dropping, but that's our client. Anything you talk about now was us.
What do they make? Wall plugs.
Yeah.
How interesting a wall plug? Not very. How have they made it interesting? Slogan.
Yeah.
Up the fish.
Up the fish.
The amount of people, like, I was working with my mate doing that air conditioning unit, and he goes, look what I got. Up the fish. I was like, unbelievable. So I had to take a video and send it to Dave. I go, Dave, look, man, I don't know whether you've noticed, mate, but this is getting quite big now.
Yeah.
But people, them like, you know what I mean? Them tagging them in it. It's like, up the fish, I'll use fish. It's like, it's about connecting with people, like up the fish. Like people say, up the city, up the blues. It's a football connection as well. So you got that kind of like psychology in the brain. I mean, if you look at their DDF fittings, right, the reason I've seen them is because of the marketing that they do.
Mm-hmm.
When they bought them out, I seen them, thought, I've got to try them. Got to give them a try because I used other fittings. First time I tried them, fantastic, brilliant. Then I started doing videos on them, and it kind of like their marketing is led into free marketing, if you know what I mean. Because people are tagging them, people are wanting to, you know, say that phrase or be a part of it. So that little bit of marketing, if you find a connection with your audience, leads into free marketing, and you find people now want to be part of that. You know what I mean? Be part of the Fischer brand.
It's got like a waterfall effect, right? Or a snowball effect. Where it would just like you create something that people want to talk about for free.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that, you know, I'm always very grateful as the representative of several different brands that people tag in these brands for free. Yeah, you know, and I'm like, well, that's amazing. Like, we would have paid for that in a roundabout way. Like, well, and obviously we do, as you know, because we work with content creators. But the fact that smaller accounts and big accounts are tagging in some of the brands that we work with for free, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tag brands in that, you know, I've never even spoke to, but I use their stuff. And they get a tag out
because it's valuable to your audience, right? It makes sense for them to.
If I'm tagging them, it's because I want my audience to know about them, because I'm using them. I think them good. Like, check them out.
Yeah, if you picked up a set of screws from the merchants, they were like, this was the only ones they had, and I'm not a big fan. But it does the trick. It's working right now. You might not be tagging them in, right? Yeah. It's just like they're in the shop, but just about they're not. It's not worth mentioning.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, I should have tagged Goodyear in the video, because I've got all wrench filter, all wrench filter for a plumber. What's he using that for? Filters, best tool ever. And I've done a few videos out there, and people are like, what's that tool? I'm like, it's Goodyear all wrench filter. So there's plumbers out there now buying mechanics tools because it just works. It costs a tenner.
Wicked.
Like one of the best tools I've got in my tool bag.
A great hack.
Yeah. It's
Love
brilliant.
That.
So, yeah. If marketing's done right by a brand, people will want to be a part of that community.
Yeah.
They will. It's all about building an identity. I mean, if you look at Powered now, they've not gone down like the Fischer route. They've gone down the community route.
Yes.
Where they're trying to help, like Making Tax Digital, they had a seminar to try and help people.
They're doing a pub tour, aren't they? Yeah, which is really cool. They're doing a pub tour where
you can drop in and help people, all for free. But if you look on the flip side for the marketing, these people going to them and help, they really help me out. If I bought their product, they're going to help me use their product. So, you know, you're making that connection there.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably people that have gone to use the free help and not bought the app, but that ain't the point. It's about like, look, we care about the community. Like, this is what we're going to help you with. If you want to use our product, great, we'll help you use that.
It's that thing of you associate support and I guess knowledge with the right product, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like the personal brand kind of thing on like things like LinkedIn and stuff, where if you provide value to your audience, stuff that you would usually charge for, like this the people are scared of giving away tips and secrets and stuff of marketing or whatever, but for the most part, like if you're giving that stuff away and providing free value, there'll be a lot of people that come back for more. Yeah. And that's going to be the case with Power now. If they first of all, if they're seen as like a representative for the community, and they're giving free support, they're doing all that kind of thing. We all know it's for an end goal, but the value is there regardless, and they provide a product that helps the next step
Yeah.
Which is, so it makes absolute sense. When it comes back to like the brands and the kind of like the brands that you want to work with and then eventually do work with, can you walk me through like what that process looks like? Because I imagine there's a lot of people that out there that aspire to be working in content creation, working with brands and things like that on low and high levels.
Yeah.
But they probably don't know the nuances behind all of this kind of stuff. Like, what's the process look like of like, initial conversations? Like, do you have specific processes and things in place? And are there some things that the audience would be surprised about? Like things like budgets or feedback. Have you had any stories where it's like you've got as far as so far down the line and then you go, do you know what, this is not the right fit for me, I don't like you guys at all, like anything like that?
So
you don't have to name names, obviously.
Normally I can, if someone approached me to do something, it's near enough a gut feeling.
Yeah,
it is. Like, I already know in my head what I'm going to say, yes or no. The best thing to do is I'll say yes or no straight away. Dog's going down the garden path with them.
And so just if we go back a couple of steps, they're reaching out to you on one of the social platforms and something like that, are they?
So it's not like you can get like a DM on Instagram or my business email. It's never normally a phone call. It's normally an email or a DM. So they'll get in touch and say, hi, we want to do a bit of work with you and stuff like that.
And what's that feel like? When you get that message, is that quite exciting?
It depends who it's off.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if it's off the tea fighting company, it's a bit different.
It is a bit, yeah. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, wow, I can't believe I get to work with this. But I still get it now. Like,
still get the butterflies.
Yeah, like, oh, wow, I can't believe I got to work with this brand. But I suppose you got to make a connection with that brand. Like, the people that I'm working with, like City Plumbing, take them for example, I've used them since the day I started my business.
Yes.
5 years ago now. I've used them from the very start. And when I started getting a little bit of traction on social media, they wanted to use me in a one-off video. And that's where the relationship started with them.
Little test project. Or
just see how it got on. Then they called me back for another one, then another one, then another one. I thought, this is getting quite regular now. And they had to sit down and discuss with me. So we want to make you a brand ambassador. We like what you're doing for us.
Amazing.
But we want it on a more regular, consistent basis. Also, we want to stop other people poaching you. We want you signed to City Plumbing. So with them now, I've got an agreement where I can't mention other, people who sell similar stuff.
Yeah.
I can't do a story where I'm filming myself going into another plumbing merch. So I'm here today buying this. It'd be totally against what they want to do. I mean, I can use other ones.
They're not going to stop you from doing that. It's just not going on your socials.
It's not being on my socials. I have to use other merchants when, the time and the place.
Yeah.
If I'm on a job at 4:00 and there's a plumbing merchant half a mile away or City Plumbing 3 miles away, I need to go to the closest one. So they're not stopping me doing that.
Or use trade cart.
Yeah, basically.
Shout out trade cart.
I love that. But yeah, that's how it started with City Plumbing. I got the ambassadorship with them and it was a natural fit. I'm regularly using them. I like the brand and that's how we become brand
good
ambassador.
People behind the brand and stuff like that as well. Great communication
really,
and stuff.
Yeah, really nice. They're really good behind the scenes and that. If there's a problem or anything, like if we do a shoot over and we're in the branch, people might come in and say, I'm having a problem, I can't. And I'll be like, okay, let's have a look. Let me sort it out for you. And they'll get it sorted. You know what I mean? There's that care and everything there. Even though I'm like a national business, they've still got that care behind the scenes. Like they want to help people out and stuff like that.
What's the perfect scenario for you? Let's say if we wanted to educate a brand that's never worked with an influencer in the past, what's a good relationship look like, and what does a good agreement look like for you that kind of keeps both parties happy and the content coming out but doesn't put in perhaps too many restrictions and stuff, do you think?
I think the brand's got to look at authenticity first.
Yeah.
Like they've got to be using them. So don't just go for the person with the biggest numbers or the biggest views. There's no point. There isn't. That could be like a 8-year-old account and half of them accounts now I'm dead. So it's like half. Don't go on numbers, go on authenticity and the content that they're doing. Does it fit your brand? And
does the person fit your brand, the brand as well?
The person got to fit your brand and use your brand. Other than that, there's no point in going ahead. Then you want some kind like for me, it would be a long-term deal.
Okay.
So if I'm going to work with a brand or use a brand, I'm going to put my weight behind it. You know what I mean? I'm okay. I like them, but I want to put all my effort into them. And the one-off video ain't going to do that for me, if you know what I mean. I would want a long-term thing. Now it can be like 6 months, 12 months, whatever, but something in place to say, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to give you all my effort. I'm not going to work with anyone else, but there's got to be that, trust.
Yeah, that one of the nuances to that a lot of brands and a lot of people don't realize. From the brand side, at Dissident, we don't want to get we don't want to do long-term stuff for the reason being is we don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah,
there's always that kind of thing of like it might not work, he might not deliver, that kind of thing. Because as from Dissident's point of view and from the brand side, we've been burnt loads of times with the retainers where like they jump on a retainer, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas like, if an agency did that, like, like we're on retainers with all of our clients.
Yeah.
Like if we don't produce the work, we get sacked instantly.
Yeah.
Gone. Like it would be unheard of. But from the content creators side of things, which is different to agencies, we can work with whoever we want.
Yeah.
If I wanted to work with Dulux and Lick Pro, we could.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We have no conflict of interest agreements. We don't do them. But with a content creator, it's almost inherent that there's a conflict of interest thing going on there. So if you work with a brand on one piece of content, that essentially locks you out of their competitors for a period of time, right? Not just from a business point of view, but also your own authenticity point of view.
Yeah, I think that's what people got to realise is if you do work with a brand, you're tied to that brand. You know what I mean? You've got your reputation to that brand, because you've done a video with them. Like other brands are going to see that.
Yeah.
Well, it don't matter what views you got on a video. Trust me, brands are always looking at everybody.
And your audience, right?
Yeah, and the audience looking, So if you use a brand, you've got to make sure that you want to be a part of that brand. I ain't saying that everyone I work with has given me a contract, because they haven't. Like there's certain people that will just send me the stuff out, and I'm happy to use the stuff, but I haven't got an agreement in place where it'll say I will do the videos for you. It's basically, I'll use them, they'll just naturally be in my content. So I suppose that's like kind of like a trial period. Like we want to work with you, we just want to see how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll send some stuff out. It will naturally get included in videos, and then from there, that's where the paid content starts coming in. Because like you said, the brand's got to know it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst thing a brand can do is start dictating to the content creator what content to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've gone to that content creator because you like their content. Don't start telling them what to do, because you're going to take that creative spark away from them.
Yes.
It's going to feel like a chore. It's going to feel like a job, and it ain't going to be enjoyable. And I've been in situations like that where I've done a video, I thought, that's good, I like that. I've put my stamp on it, and it's been batted back about 3 times. Change this, change that. I'm like, you've changing my identity here. You've changed this, and then it's gone out, and I'm like, that ain't one of my videos. Yeah. It's just been chopped and God knows what.
Do you think it's a good idea to, if you've got, there are some types of accounts that are pretty reliable in the style of content, and you can kind of know what to expect. They're predictable.
Yeah.
And there are some accounts that like perhaps go off on, they're very creative and it's very narrative driven and things like that. Great examples are like R&R, DW Plum Heat. I'm struggling to think of any more because they're good mates. But these kind of, they're almost story-driven content that can go off potentially in like a direction that's like, the brand's not comfortable with. Yeah. Do you think it's a good idea in those scenarios that like, rather than just paying and saying, here's the deliverables I'd like for this particular month.
Yeah.
If you're an ambassador, and then go, have fun. Do you think it's okay to have like almost like a briefing kind of thing going through where it's like, before you do it, you just let us know what you're going to do, just in case it's a problem.
Yeah.
So
before I post any video, it always goes back to whoever I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
Always. Even if say, just post it, I always say, is this okay?
Mm-hmm.
So just so they can check it through and make sure that everything's above board, because sometimes you can accidentally say stuff. I think I did a video where I said, free delivery. I was like, free delivery over a certain amount.
Yes.
And only in mainland UK. We don't want someone like miles away ordering a pack of screws and saying, your man told me we could get it for free delivery and it's going to cost them a fortune. So you've got to be careful about what you say in there, because sometimes you can land in a bit of hot water.
But let's say you've got a concept where you want to incorporate a product into a particular piece of content, and like before you even film it, you're a bit unsure. Do you think it's a good practice to kind of go, I'm thinking about doing this in this scenario for these reasons? Do you think that works? Do you typically do stuff like that? I imagine your content's quite predictable in terms of the fact that you're not going crazy.
Yeah, more content, if you look through it, has got like some kind of baseline to it. I think before I do a video, the more they can tell me what they want, the better.
Yes.
Just don't expect me to go on script.
Yes.
I will just go off. I'll take the main points and try and get it in my own style of content.
Yeah.
The more that a brand tells you what they want, the better. But when a brand expects it to be how they want it, it's like, this is why you pay me to do the video, because I'm doing it the way I would do it. Like, if you wanted it that way, maybe, you should do it yourself, like kind of thing like that. Hey, but no disrespect to them, but if they want it a certain way and they can see it, there's no point coming to me that I'll do to something totally different. Yeah. So I think you just got to remember the content creator, because they've got the followers because they're doing a particular style of video. Like, don't try and force them to do a different style of video, because it will not work and people will see straight through it.
I'm thinking about particular scenarios where we've had in the past with different content creators perhaps and different brands, where they've gone and done something and they've used a product in a particular application, and you go, no one would ever use it in that way. Yeah. Like, that's just a weird film. Yeah. It's completely left field, or it's random and it's kind of off brand, or it's a bad use case of the product. And there's that kind of awkward thing where you go, well, you've just wasted a load of time there, because like this can't go out as a piece of content, because you've used it in a very weird way there. Like, I think of the kind of like the adhesives attaching like fence posts to concrete, or that stuff, like we just like, I'm not sure whether that anyone would actually, I don't know, that's not a great example, but we just sort of think that's kind of, it feels like you've just kind of like squeezed that into there, and because you had to make the content. Yeah.
Kind of forced content.
Forced content, or they've kind of gone a bit too left field, and they've created a piece of content that's like just kind of like odd. Yeah. And you think, that's not right for the brand at all. Yeah. And I think that only really is relevant for like the more conceptual based pieces of content, where it's a story or there's acting or something like that. And you think that's not right for the brand. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I as an agency, I think I would feel more comfortable if content creators came to us and just said, I'm doing a rad fitting with the Jura Power on Thursday. Does that sound good for you this month? I'm like, yep, cool. But if it's like, I've got this weird kind of left field concept of a job that no one can relate to, and I'm going to use this particular product, I'm like, it'd make you think like, I don't know if that's going to be good.
Yes, I suppose going back to the brand and saying, this is a job that I've got, do you think that's a good fit? Because like you said, if it's like, I'm going to fit a radiator, we've just done 3 reels on radiators. Yes. Can you get something else? I've had it before with a sealant or something. They've said, can you use our product? I'm like, not really. No. Don't really use it. No. I've actually forced myself to use it, and it would show. Yes. It would show. I think it was a filler. I'm not a carpenter. Look, it's come over carpenter. I'm a plumber. Yeah. I use silicone. No, it's filler. I'm not going to use it then, mate.
Who's your brand of choice for the silicone? Out of interest.
City Plumbing, they're a good one.
Oh yeah, like their own brand stuff.
Yeah, Plumber stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's cheap as well.
Oh, happy days.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
Because I imagine that from the sealant point of view, I imagine, especially if you're doing bathrooms and stuff, you're using it all the time. I just imagine it's the simplest product that people have the biggest opinions on, because it either works or it doesn't in your workflow in different scenarios, and you'll know all the nuances of a sealant, right, and a cork or whatever.
Yeah, I'll say like the Plumber stuff I've used, and it's been sound, and it's cheap. It's good. Yeah, I've used like some of the bigger brands like CT1, their Power Grab and Want, unbelievable stuff, really good. Yeah, but their silicon's a little bit more expensive than the Plumber stuff. I don't.
Horses for courses, right? There's certain things that are relevant for certain scenarios.
Yeah. Like their stuff I've used like on certain applications, but my day in day out stuff, I'm gonna pick the Plumber stuff because it's cheaper. Yeah. And it performs just as good, but sometimes I have to use that stuff because it is a lot better.
Let's assume that the Plum Centre, isn't it?
City Plumbing.
City Plumbing,
Yeah.
sorry. City Plumbing are they have a product and they'd like you to use that product, and you go, let's assume. Let's take City Plumbing out of it. A brand that you work with says, I'd like you to do a product, and here it is, and you use it, you go, this is toss.
Yeah.
Do you like, are you within your rights, and you think, and do you think it's in terms of integrity to go, I cannot.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's happened.
Yeah, that's happened. Or no, not a chance. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Yeah. I've had it. Yeah, well, I'm not doing that.
That speaks to integrity, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, if you're saying that you know it's no good, then that's the right thing to do.
It is, yeah. Like City Plumbing said, I think I had to reveal for them, and they said, "Look, can you promote our inhibitor?" Well, not really. Like, why? It's our inhibitor. I said, "Yeah, I use it, but everyone knows me for AD." No contract. I've got no contract with AD. I've just got a really good relationship with them. I love their products. I've used them since I started. But like, everyone knows that I use AD stuff. Like if I'm fitting a new boiler, it's getting AD chemicals in it. The Plumber stuff, if it's an older boiler, not under warranty, or you know what I mean, I've got it on the van, I'll use it then. But primarily, like I am AD. I said to him, like, I can't. I want to put, it just wouldn't fit. People know that I'm just like wanting it for that.
It speaks volumes that they're just like, right, well, you're sacked. See you later. You know, like they're like, oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
that's the integrity part, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like, some of their other stuff, like they've got a range of Pro Force stuff, and it's their own brand stuff, but it's good stuff. I really like it. Like that, I'll push out that. I think that's really good stuff. It's the bargain stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I do that, I'm thinking other brands are going to see that. I think, well, I can't use him because he's promoting that, and that's, you know, we do a product similar to that, but at the end of the day, I'm using it. You know what I mean? If I'm using it, I want to promote it. So there has been an instance where I've said, no, I'm not doing that because it don't fit with me. So,
it's good.
And that's against the brand that pays me as well.
Yeah.
But they've got that trust with me. Like, they trust me. Like, if I'm saying I won't do it, there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, they sell AD and I always buy it from there. So it's, you know what I mean? It's no skin off their nose.
Yeah, I suppose that makes a difference if that, regardless of which way you do it, they get paid.
Basically, yeah.
To whichever brand you promote, I guess. That's really cool. Last question, Luke, before we wrap up for today. It's a twofold question. If you could give any piece of experience or advice on the two main areas of what you do as a living. So one is growing your business, your actual business, as a plumber, heating engineer, and on the flip side of that, working towards being a content creator that works with brands. What would be those two things that you would do? Let's start with the growing your plumbing and heating business.
So don't sleep on social media.
Okay,
right, get content out there. It's what your customers are going to see. That's what they're going to want to see more than anything. Someone says to them, use this company. Why? There's got to be some proof there that you know what you're doing. Don't care about the views. Just get some content out there that's doing what you're doing. Photo, like you say, carousels, reels, anything. It's going to be like a back catalogue. That's your catalogue of work. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And just have a vision of what you want to do. If you want to do more boilers, promote boilers. If you want to do jobbing jobs, you know, promote the jobbing jobs. There's a lot that you can take from social media. There really is. And it does help drive a business, and it's free.
Love it. A
lot of people say, look, I haven't got time to do that. I think you need to make the time.
Yes.
It's marketing at the end of the day. I know it's when you're busy, you think, I ain't got time for this, I don't need the work. But if you don't do it, when the quiet times come, you've missed the curve. You need to constantly advertise and get your work out there.
Yeah, it's that kind of scramble of you're busy, so your work's up here, so you start marketing, and then you drop down, and then you start marketing, and then it picks back up, and then you just in that thing is where you want that kind of steady.
You need it steady.
Growth.
You want it steady growth. Yeah,
love that. So social media, don't sleep on it. Get it done. Factor it into your day. Factor it into your workflow.
Yeah.
Is like it's a simple and easy step.
Yeah.
But also you the little nuance there, show what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's important.
That's the one, yeah. Don't be showing yourself fitting bathrooms if you don't like doing bathrooms. Because guess what's gonna happen? I love that bathroom. Can you do me one? You know what I mean? If you don't like doing bathrooms, don't advertise bathrooms. That's a big one. I found that out the hard way. I did a bathroom. Oh, that's amazing. Can you come and do mine? No, I don't like doing them.
Yeah, I hate them now.
Hate them. Yeah.
What about in terms of like, if someone aspires to be working with brands, having a second form of income and loves the idea of and the craft of content creation with a commercial goal in mind.
Yeah.
If you could give one piece of advice, what would that be?
Just be yourself. Be yourself and have some integrity. Don't be tempted by the free products. That's what I'm going to say. Like, when you first start, you get a few followers, people will say, oh, we want to send this out. Can you do a reel on it? You've just sold your brand. You've sold yourself for a free product, basically. That's a pitfall that I see a lot of people do. Once you work with a brand, even if it's a free reel for a free product, you must associate with that brand, and other brands are going to see it. I really am. Just think about where you want to be, who you want to work with. Like I still have people I want to work with, and I'm working with people that I've always wanted to work with. And I've always just been true to like that brand, if you know what I mean. Like, it's because I use them that I've managed to work with them, because I've noticed that I'm using them, but I haven't forced it, if you know what I mean. It's been going away in the background, and it's been authentic. It's not been forced. I'm not sliding in the DM saying, hey, look at me, I'm using your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to tag the people, but when I tag people, it's because I'm using them.
Yeah.
Just be a little bit, you got to have your own identity. Don't try and copy people. Just be yourself. That's the main thing. Be yourself. If you're yourself, you're unique already. And
also, it's tiring trying to be someone else, right? You haven't got any longevity with that. It's if you're consistent in the way that you approach social media, there's a two-pronged attack there. Get yourself on social media to promote your business. If you want to be on and create regular content, provide value, provide I guess education in the fact that this is the work that you do, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then if you're looking to be a content creator, you're already doing the social media. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And the work will come.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people are a bit scared, like putting the face out there or the name out there. Look, man, I'm a yam. I've done a lot for myself, just being myself and talking the way I am. You know what I mean? Look, don't be scared of who you am.
Where can people find you? If you could point people towards one social media platform and they can find you, where would it be?
If it's a brand, Instagram. If it's people wanting to learn stuff, YouTube.
Wicked. Mate, you're a legend. Thank you so much. It's really good to see you again.
It's been good. I enjoyed that.
We hope to work with you again soon. We're going to talk about some potential projects that we've got lined up after this. But really appreciate you providing value, talking about stuff that not a lot of people like to talk about as well, but I think they're important topics of conversation. So appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thank you.